Hello everybody, welcome back to Firefield Junction and welcome to another model review. I recently did a poll on my Instagram to see what people wanted to be the next review on my channel. If you haven't checked out my Instagram yet, then I'll put a link down below or something so you can go and check that out. I post mainly pictures of obviously real trains on there every now and then, but I do some model pictures as well, but mainly real trains. But I also obviously do polls on there as well to see what you guys like to see on the channel. And the most recent poll I did was for people to choose whether they wanted to see a review of the Class 800 in GWR livery first, or the GWR Class 153. And as you can probably tell by the title of the video, the Class 800 was the winner of that, only just literally by one vote. But the don't worry, it doesn't mean I'm not going to do the GWR 153. That will be the next review after this one. But anyway, of course, we need to have a look at the winner, don't we? So yeah, the GWR Class 800. So obviously the real thing has been in service for a number of years now. Obviously, it's probably going to become the most common train that you're going to end up seeing on the network, passenger-wise anyway. Obviously, GWR have them. LNER have them, Whole Trains have them, and Trans-Pennine Express have them as well. And obviously other companies are probably going to start getting them soon as well. But obviously GWR were the first to get these trains to obviously replace their HSTs. But I don't like. Obviously, I'm sure like a lot of people out there, I don't like them as much as HSTs. HSTs will always be superior to these. But anyway, let's have a look at the model, don't we? And now the model by Hornby, it's very good. There's plenty of lead on the model. It runs really well. It's DCC ready, and yes, overall it's just an absolutely fantastic model. As for in real life, I can't remember how many of these were built in real life. As for the just normal Class 800s for GWR, the 5-car ones, I think there's about 36 of them or something. I could be wrong there, but I think there's at least 36 of them. And they've obviously got 802s, which are 5-car as well. I'm not sure how many of them there are. Then they've got the 800-3s, which are obviously 9 cars long. But obviously, usually the 800s and 802s, you usually see those in 10-car formations. But anyway, enough about the real thing. We need to have a look at the model. But yeah, it's just stunning. Really nice. She has got working lights, and they are really bright, just like the real thing. Livery application, well, it's just amazing. You can feel all the lettering and everything there. It's really nice. As for the mechanism, she's got a motor in the centre of the unit, because obviously this is the motor unit. She's got a motor in the centre, and that drives all of the wheels on this unit. However, on my one, this very front set here, this axle here, isn't actually driven by the motor, when I'm pretty sure it should be. And to be honest, that does affect the performance a little bit, but it's not too bad. But yeah, this axle should be driven by the motor as well, but on my one it isn't. But don't worry, if you have one, or you're planning to get one of these, then that axle hopefully will be driven on your model. And obviously this one is controlled by the motor, so I can't turn that one. And then the two on here are driven as well. As you can see in there, there's a DCC chip in there, because this model is DCC ready, and I have, this model is DCC fitted by me. So when we get it running, we'll get some nice smooth operation out of her. Although these Hornby chips aren't the best, so I will swap them out for something else at some point, but they're doing very well for themselves at the moment. And obviously you've got the sort of grill sort of section here, just in case you decide to fit this model with sound. Although the only place you can get sound for this model at the moment I think is from Legoman Biffo, and obviously his sound chips are very expensive, and of course I think the ones for the 800 aren't that good. So I don't really see any point in getting sound for this model at the moment, unless Hornby do TTS for it, which, to us, I really hope they do. Fingers crossed. I really hope Hornby do TTS sound chips for this model. because if they do, I'll definitely be getting one. And I'll probably change the speaker though. But yeah, going back to the model. As for the detail, it's very, very good. You can even see all the detail on the wheels there. As for the actual bogie detail, well, obviously it's not one gigantic moulded piece. Well, yeah, it probably is, but at least it's not all one solid block. It does look good. And you've got the name there, so Daniel Gooch. And obviously the other end of this unit is named after Brunel, the famous engineer himself. It's number 800-004. Hornby have also done 800-003 as a separate pack, but with that pack you have to buy the ends and the coaches separately. Obviously with this pack you get the whole 5-car train in one pack. The pantograph, it doesn't work, it's just a plastic pantograph. But to us I find that's alright, it's not too bad, but obviously if it was a working pantograph, the model would be a lot more expensive. Because obviously, well, yeah, I won't go into it, but it will make the model more expensive if it did have a real working pantograph. But it doesn't look too bad, it does feel very, very cheap, it does feel very delicate. But yeah, at least it is there, and you can have it up if you want to. But obviously I don't have it on that. I don't need to have it up on this layout because, well, obviously my layout is only a temporary layout and I don't have an overhead system. And even when I do end up doing a proper layout, I'm still not going to put in an overhead system. But the rest of the electrical equipment on top, it does look, well, it looks okay. At least it's not all one colour. It's all separate. Yeah, it's all separate colours, which is good. The doors aren't too bad. They don't open, but well, probably wouldn't expect that at the moment. But hopefully they'll start doing things like that soon. You can see this area is the first class area, but obviously because of the nice big sort of silver stripe there, and obviously it says first class there as well. And the displays, they do have some writing on them, so if I can get to focus, there you go. As you can see, this is coach E and it says Cardiff Central. And then we can see there it says 1400, so 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Swindon. I can't quite remember how the displays work on these things in real life, but I think basically means that's the time it's going to arrive at the next station. So basically this would be if it's at maybe either Reading or Didcot Parkway, and that's the time it's going to arrive in Swindon, or the departure time for Swindon. I don't know, I think it's something like that. But obviously Cardiff Central is the destination for this particular service. Enough about that. The roof, well, it's not too bad. We've seen worse. Yeah, and you definitely see worse roofs on other models, to be honest, the roofs on these things aren't too interesting anyway. But yeah, it's not too bad. As I've already go there. Let me start again. As I've already mentioned, it does have working lights. Obviously you've got headlights here, here and here when it's coming towards you, and when it's going away from you, you've got tail lights on just here and here. And to us, the tail lights aren't too bad. On some models the tail lights, they're pretty rubbish, you can't really see them very well, but on this one they're not too bad. Something else to mention is that the nose section here is actually removable. So if you wanted to, try to, there we go. The nose just comes off, and then you've got this sort of dummy coupling underneath here. But you wouldn't use that coupling to couple two ends together. But if you wanted to, you can make up your own sort of mechanism. If you wanted to couple two of the end units together to make a 10-car set, it has been done. If you don't believe me, go and find a video on YouTube. I'm pretty sure Matt Slade at Jubilee Road did it. In fact, yes, he definitely did, because he did a video on it. So if you don't believe me that you can actually make a 10-car set using these things, then go and check out Matt Slade's video at Jubilee Road, because it is possible and it's not too difficult to do either. But yeah, I thought I'd just mention that just in case you're interested, and it might be something I'll try in the future. But there you go, and this clips back on. But yeah, overall, not a bad model. So if I put the motor to one side, we'll just have a quick look at the dummy unit. Obviously a lot lighter because there's no motor in it, but again it is obviously DCC ready, and you can see the other DCC chip in there as well. to obviously control the lights. But yeah, as for the detail, it's just as good as the other units. Obviously, there we go. We've got Isambard Kingdom Brunel, again the 800-004, and you've got the exact same amount of detail absolutely everywhere. And obviously, the underframe detail isn't the most interesting thing, but it's there. You can see the seats inside, so if you wanted to, you could take the body off, put people in there. It might be something I'll do in the future, but I'm in no rush to. Same amount of detail on the roof with the pantograph and everything, which again you can have that one up if you want to. Ooh. Again, the exact same lights. I'm pretty sure there's cab detail. Yeah, if I just get it at the right angle, you can probably just about see the detail in the cab there, but it's not the most noticeable thing. But it does look like they might have actually paid very good attention to cab detail, but I'm not sure. I've never taken the body off this particular unit, so I don't actually know what the cab is like. Something else I've got to mention on the motor is you have got separately fitted wipers. So you can see it's moving there, but obviously you don't want to snap it off. Again, just about the same amount of detail on the bogies. All of the wheels pick up, obviously, for the lights. And oh yes, of course, completely forgot about this as well. The entire train, so both ends and all three coaches in the middle, there is interior lighting all the way down. If you can just about see in there, you can just about see the lighting strip inside there, because it does come with interior lighting. It's not very good interior lighting, but it is there, and you can just about see it when it's going around. What I'll try and do is when I get it running, is once I've got a few shots of it running with the light, I'll turn off the light here in the shed so you can see the interior lighting better. Yeah, that's the end unit. Obviously, it's not too different to the motor. And then we've got one of the middle coaches here as well. The couplings for this train are similar to that on the Pendolino and the premium Class 395 Javelin. So those sorts of trains, it's the same sort of coupling for that. And obviously, it's mounted to the actual body of the coach, not the bogie. And obviously, as you can see, it moves out, obviously, when she's going around curves, because I'm pretty sure she can cope with second radius. I obviously on this layout have third radius curves, which are obviously a lot better, but with most models these days, second radius is the minimum that trains are designed for. Although I think I have seen one of these going around first radius, but I could be wrong. But obviously the roof detail is slightly different to that on the ends. There's not as much of it. Obviously there's no pantograph, obviously it's a middle coach. As for the pickup mechanism on these coaches, it looks like it's different to that on the ends, because again, obviously it does have interior lighting in it, as you can see in there, but I can't actually see any pickups. So I'm guessing the picking up of electricity on these middle coaches is done differently to that on the ends, because yeah, I cannot see any pickups in there for the life of me. But anyway, yeah, that's one of the middle coaches. Obviously, detail is just as good as that on the ends. Again, beautiful livery application. You've got the displays there. You can see all the way through the coach. And again, if you wanted to, you could take the body off and put people in there if you wanted to. I'm only going to look at one of the middle coaches, because obviously the other two are exactly the same. They're just going to be different numbers. Obviously, this is coach B. The other coaches will be C and D. But apart from that, all of the middle coaches are pretty much exactly the same. So there's no point in me looking at all of them. But anyway, I think that's enough looking at the model. So next thing to do is obviously to put it on the track. But since this video has gone on for almost long enough, I'll end it here, and then we'll come back in part 2 of the review, which I seem to be doing a lot recently, probably because I ramble on for too long. But anyway, we'll come back in part 2, we'll get her on the track and get her running. So thanks for watching the part 1 of the review, and I'll see you guys in part 2. Bye.